Hello, welcome to a new video. Today we are in London with the parkour community. We're gonna check out the Sony FX3 in terms of photography. We're gonna talk about some of the features, photography features, but in particular we're gonna take a lot of shots. We're gonna start with some action shots. Then we're gonna take some portrait, maybe later on with some flash as well. Let's get rolling. How's it going, man? Good? Yo! Yes, I know the Sony FX3 is a video camera, but what if you are a hybrid content creator and you want to carry only one camera with you on your job? Is this a camera that can actually do the job? It's something I've done before with the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K, and you can check the video up here. I'm gonna go into POV mode, super wide view, and we're gonna talk about the camera. Let's go. All right, let's start with some basic operation to actually make the camera work as a photography camera. So first of all, you probably are in video mode. So if you go to your modes right here, from video, you want to go to manual. That's how you can take photography. If you don't do that, first of all, the shutter speed, which is right here in front of the camera, will not take any photo in video mode. But also if you have a Sony lens, you will not be able to have the focus magnifier. Now I'm using a Laowa lens 12mm, which doesn't allow me to use the focus magnifier anyway, but that's the very first thing you want to do to be able to take photos on the Sony FX3. Guys, I apologize for the noise. There's a lot of music and people, of course, shouting, and we are in the middle of the motorway, but hey, parkour community right here. Important thing, you don't want to have any S-Log of picture profile on, so you simply go to your menu in there and select the picture profile off. So make sure you're not in S-Log, because that's a mistake I used to do in the past. So that's something you want to do now before taking photos. In terms of monitoring, so there's no viewfinder in the camera, but we got this nice fully articulated screen, which is actually pretty cool. Apart from taking selfies, let's take a selfie, come on. But also it allows you to get nice, weird and low angles, which you probably wouldn't be able to achieve with a viewfinder unless you really lay down on the floor, you do weird stuff, you know what I'm talking about. If you are concerned about the battery life, with these batteries you can run the camera more or less a couple of hours, I think. So usually when you got 2 or 3 batteries, you can run the whole day if you're on a job and a professional shoot as well. But I've got 7 batteries anyway, just in case. Focus, okay, we are talking about the focus, and of course we have autofocus, but that works when you've got the Sony compatible lenses on top of your camera here. And of course you can switch to manual as well. Now you can customize your buttons, so I customize my custom button 3, and I will change the mode of the focus. So I can go from auto to manual simply by pressing this button. You can also change the focus area, and I've got another custom button right there, so I can go from wide to zone to center fix and so on. So all features that you can also find in the Sony photography cameras. Of course you got the eye focus, which is spot on, in particular if you have Sony G Master lenses, which are very fast with the autofocus. I've got 24 to 70 Mark II at the moment G Master. Great lens, and these are some of the shots taken with this lens. There's also a focus magnifier, the one we talked before. If you switch to manual and you have a Sony lens, then whenever you focus, you can actually see the magnification right here. You zoom in basically, there you go. And another feature is the peaking. Focus peaking, which is great. Once again, all the photography features you would get in a professional photography camera. When we talk about drive modes, which again I customized in a button right here on the wheel, we will find, of course, single shooting, but also continuous shooting. If we select high plus, we can actually take 10 frames per second. If we go to high, we got 8 frames per second, and then we got mid, which is 6, and low, it's only 3 shots per second. If we scroll down, we also have a timer, a self-timer of 10 seconds, 5 seconds, and 2 seconds. If we scroll down, we have a continuous self-timer. So we are actually able to take more shots with the self-timer. So we have different options. You can scroll through having a 10-second self-timer and take 5 shots, or 3 shots only, or just scroll down to 2 seconds self-timer, and so on. Then we have different brackets options. So with the bracket options, basically your camera will take 3 shots, and you can choose, for example, exposure bracket. So the camera will take 3 different shots with 3 different exposures, and you have a better choice in post-production. You can choose the more exposed or the less exposed. And you got same brackets for different options. For example, for the white temperature, the camera will take the same photo in 3 different temperatures, and you can choose in post-production which one to pick. I want to cover some extra features, photography features of the Sony FX3 as well. So first of all, you can go to silent mode. In silent mode, you will set off some of the audio signals. So when you focus, for example, autofocus, you can hear this beep, right? So if we go, again, I customize my buttons, but if you turn the signals off, but you will still hear the shutter. But this mode is great, especially when you are on professional jobs where you have to be quiet. For example, interviews, stuff like that. You want to have the audio signals off. Now, related also to the audio signals, we have a mechanical and electronical shutter in camera. So whenever you press the shutter button, your mechanical shutter will actually move. As you can see here, it's literally opening and closing. We have the option to go in the menu and switch to the electronical shutter. And now the shutter will be completely quiet because it's not really opening and closing anymore. So if you're on jobs where you have to be quiet, this is probably the best option. Select your audio signal off and also select the electronical shutter. Another good feature is the time lapse, basically. So we have this option. If we go in the menu, it's called interval shoot function. You want to have this on. At the moment it's off, so we select on, and then you can basically set up your timing. You can set up the shooting interval, so 3 seconds for example, and I want to shoot 30 frames, 30 photos. So you just set it up on a tripod, you click the shutter button, and the interval shooting will start. As I kept mentioning during the video before, we are able to customize all the buttons, well, most of the buttons on the body of the camera, which is great for photography as well. You can either choose the same settings as for the video mode, or you can simply customize it differently for your photography features. Very, very important thing, the file formats. So I'm gonna guide you through what you can do here with the FX3. You can go to image quality settings and choose a RAW, but also you have the option to shoot in RAW plus JPEG or just JPEG. I usually go for RAW. Then from here, you can also choose, for example, if you choose RAW, you can choose compressed or uncompressed, and I go for uncompressed to have the best quality. But if you go for JPEG, then you can choose the image quality of the JPEG, so it can be extra fine, fine, or standard. And you can also choose the JPEG image size. 12 megapixel is the maximum because that's a megapixel of the actual sensor, but you can also go to 5.1 or 3 megapixel. I'm not really testing the JPEG for you guys, but just the RAW files, because that's what I would be using even for my normal travels or anything. I just use RAW, I never use JPEG because they allow me to have more flexibility in post-production. In terms of file size, when you actually download your file, each photo will be in RAW, uncompressed, more or less 26 megabytes. In low light, well, it's a great camera, as we all know. The native ISOs, for example, are 800 and 12,800. Also, we have a long exposure like the bulb option. If you scroll down with your shutter all the way down, after 30 seconds you will get the bulb option. Then also we are able to use a flash on top of the camera, because we have the electronics that can actually match the triggers for the Sony cameras, of course. And I'm using a Godox now. I'm going to show you a few shots I've just taken with the guys here. So it's literally like a professional camera, apart from the megapixels, which are a bit lower in terms of number compared to a A7R, for example, line. We are back in studio because I want to show you another few photos and give you my feedback on this camera. Overall, I think that Sony FX3, it's a very good photo camera, as well as being an amazing video camera. In terms of photography features, I haven't missed anything that, for example, the Sony A7R III is offering me, apart from the amount of pixels and the viewfinder. So you definitely notice the resolution. I am missing that amount of pixel that allows me to crop and reframe my image as I want in post-production. So I have to be a bit more careful with the 12 megapixel of the Sony FX3. In terms of a viewfinder, it's helpful definitely in bright days outdoors to see better, because sometimes with the monitor it's a bit difficult. The monitor allows you to get, as mentioned before, amazing angles, which you would struggle with a viewfinder. And also using a viewfinder probably saves a bit of the battery juice. In conclusion, I probably wouldn't use the Sony FX3 for professional work, meaning when I'm paid for portrait photography or corporate events, I probably wouldn't use the FX3, but I would rely more on an Alpha 7R line, mainly because of the amount of pixels. A7R III is offering me 42 megapixels, the new A7R go up to 61 megapixels and so on. The FX3 has 12 megapixels. I'm definitely going to use the FX3 for social media content, all my photos on Instagram, YouTube thumbnail, even for, you know, helping out friends if they need any photography and they need lighter files. Definitely I'm gonna use it very often. I'm gonna use it for traveling, and I'm gonna show you here a few photos. I went to Scotland and I took these shots. I mean, check it out. They look stunning. I mean, for social media, Facebook, you don't need anything else. They're very detailed as well. This is 100%, as you can see here. You can see, I mean, look at the petals. They're amazing. And even if I squeeze in, this is now like 300% basically. You can see, I don't know how you call it, but like they look like hair, you know, the hair of the petals. Image is great. It's not breaking down, even in the blue sky here. Of course, guys, bear in mind, you need to consider the lens as well. These photos were taken with the 24-70 G Master Mark II. So it all relates to that as well. So the kit you're using with the camera. I mean, again, dynamic range is great. I'm gonna show you these photos in a second. This is the original. Here's the graded. Look at the clouds, they really pop out now. Shadows and highlights. And in particular, you will notice in this photo right here. Look at the castle. I go through the original version. The castle is disappearing. It's crazy what you can do in post-production. I mentioned traveling, and I wanted to say that if I'm able to travel with two cameras, usually I traveled with two cameras, one photography camera and one video camera. So everyone is dedicated for a certain purpose. If I'm going for a hike, very long hike, or anywhere I'm traveling and I don't want or I can't carry much weight on my shoulder, I think I would go for the FX3 at the moment and use it as a video camera and the photography camera. Because nowadays I prefer to be able to take amazing videos, which of course the FX3 is made for, but also have a very good photo camera instead of having a professional photo camera which is not able to reproduce certain resolutions or frame rate in terms of video. This is my humble opinion. I hope the video helped out to see if this could be a camera for you in terms of photography as well, or as a hybrid camera. Drop a comment down here, let me know what you think. Of course, join my community. I can't wait to welcome more of you guys. Community is growing step by step, the channel is growing, and by hitting subscribing, you're just supporting my channel and my work. So I hope to see you in the next video. Take care, and I'll see you soon.